Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 46. Today, we're going to be talking about the 6-step process for helping you to become way more efficient with your time. I'm really excited about this. It's the number 2 thing I reckon I get asked for from business people and from sales professionals. Naturally, the more time that you have got that you can free up, the more time that you've got that you can allocate to working with clients and generating revenue, which is obviously what we're all about. But first, if you've got lead flow, if you've got clients that are, or potential clients that are coming into your business and you want to convert more of those into paying clients without spending any more on advertising and without working any harder than what you already are, I encourage you to head over to johnblakeaudio.com and get your free audio training where I actually show you the exact strategy that I use with clients to double their sales with their existing lead flow. This is the same strategy that I teach my high ticket clients, and it works consistently once you put it in place, and that's what you want, consistent results. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com, download the audio training and get the PDF guide that's actually got the email templates, the phone scripts, exactly what to say, exactly when to email, when not to email, more importantly, and how to make sure that you manage your follow-up process in a way that's professional, that is proactive, and that gives you the highest chance of improving your profit through better follow-up without annoying people. So head over there, johnblakeaudio.com, and get that training straight away, and it is 100% complimentary. Righto, so the 6-step process for improving your efficiency with time. So, as I said, I get asked this all the time. The process that I'm about to share with you, I learned from a mentor of ours. At the time, I had a business partner guy by the name of Chet Holmes. Sadly passed away a few years ago. I've learned an absolute truckload from Chet. And we were in we actually bought one of his programs, so I studied under him for a while. But when he talks about this process, he talks about the fact that he was working for Charlie Munger, managing about 9 different magazine divisions at the time. And he wanted to improve his time management. So he went to this time management course, and what happened there is very similar to what happens in a lot of time management systems. What he was told to do was to record everything that he did for a 3-month process, for a 3-month period, and then that was the sort of starting point of the prerequisite for getting it done. And he stood up and walked out. Like it's just like there's no way in the world that this is prohibitive to the thing that I've come here to do, is to improve my efficiency on time, and this is going to gobble up a truckload of time. I haven't got time for this. And he walked out. So he developed this system himself. And it's actually really good. And I'm going to share it with you. And I think you're going to get a stack out of it. So so the first thing that we need to do is to look at, okay, well, what's going on, in terms of time? Well, for most people, they've got a massive list of to-dos, which is a distraction in and of itself and stressful. Like if you've got, 25, 30, 50 things on your to-do list, it's actually really stressful. Most people have got multiple distractions throughout the day. That little device that we all carry around with us is probably the biggest distractor of all. It contains email, it contains social media, it contains SMS, it contains WhatsApp, Slack channel, there's all sorts of endless distractions that you can get through your phone. And it's easy to be reactive. It's easy to just swat at the flies that jump out at us throughout our day. And often, not always, but often we get to the end of the day and we really haven't accomplished much at all. So that's easy for that to happen. And what tends to happen is that we work longer hours just to keep up. We're not productive, so we end up working longer hours to keep up. And that's a shocker. That means that you don't get to see your family. It means that you're stressed. It means that your sleep suffers. means you don't get to exercise. I mean, the list of drama that creates is quite ridiculous. But in terms of the context of what it is that we talk about on this podcast, it doesn't give you enough time to spend on high impact areas like talking to clients, going through offers with people, writing emails that you can send out to your database. All that stuff suffers, which means your sales results are either stagnant or they go backwards. So, what do you want? You want a system that works. You want a system that's fast. You want to get more done. I mean, a system that's fast, something that is not counterproductive to the actual outcome that you're looking to create. You don't want something that's going to take, an hour to do every day, because that's an hour that you could spend on something else. So you want to get more done. You want to work on the high impact areas, the thing that creates the best result. And it's like, okay, well, what's high impact area? Well, if you're in sales, pretty easy. It's a thing. You're creating sales. You're creating revenue. You're creating more customers. You're creating more revenue with existing customers. So that's not a very difficult question to ask. And what that means is that you can increase sales without working any longer. Work the same hours, make more money. Sound good? Thought so. So these are the 6 steps. Now, before I go through these with you, there's actually 2 things I wanted to share with you. 2 ideas which I think are really cool. And in the training, Chet talks about these. He talks about the biggest culprit, which is this whole concept of, hey, have you got a minute? Now, if you're in a managerial type role and you've got people that you're looking after, direct people that you're, that are accountable to you, you can literally get absolutely, it's like death by 1,000 got a minutes. So one of the things that is often not talked about in time management is it's about training the people around you more, as much, if not more, than actually managing your own focus and your own energy. So if you've got a whole bunch of people that are coming to you throughout the day and saying, hey, can I grab you for a minute? Hey, can I grab you for a minute? Hey, have you got a minute? Oh, can I ask you something? It's like Chet talks about giving these guys a pad, like, just a legal pad or, foolscap pad or, ring binder or whatever. And he would just write with Chet up the top of the pad, and he would schedule, depending on, how much of his time that particular person needed, he would schedule regular time throughout the week to catch up with that person for like half an hour or an hour, and he would deal with whatever was on that list. So they would list all the questions that they had, and they would nail them all in 1.5 hour time block. So that's a really cool one. That's something that can make a huge difference. Is that whole concept of scheduling time with people rather than just giving them random access to you. And it literally is about training all the people around you, So the other thing is, block time. Block time. So block time for like tasks. So if you've got a whole bunch of telephone calls to make, then block out an hour. So typically if you've got to make 20 dials, it's going to take you an hour, because 7 to 8 out of every 10 of the people that you contact, you're going to get their voicemail, you're going to leave a message. So you need to block out an hour to basically get through 20 dials, and you'll probably end up speaking to about 6 people. That kind of tends to be how it works. So block time and schedule uninterrupted time with people. And the cool thing about the whole got a minute thing is that a question that I have for you right now, by the time we catch up at 3:00 this afternoon, that question would probably have resolved itself. So that's the beautiful thing about this whole process. So step 1, touch it once. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is, rather than look at something, read it, put it aside, come back to it, if you've blocked your time, you can grab it and deal with it, and then it's done. So, and this all relates to some of the other steps that I'm going to share with you as well. But touch it once. If you're going to touch it, get it nailed and move on to the next thing. And if you do the other stuff in this process, that will become a lot easier. So Step 2 is make lists. Now, rather than having 35 things on your list, what you want to do is you want to prioritize the 6 musts. And the best question you can ask is, what are the 6 things that if I get these 6 things nailed today, I'll feel good about the progress that I've made. I'll feel like the day was a success and that I've actually got some stuff done, right? So what are those 6 things? Write them down and only have them on your list. I usually have 2 lists. I usually have a brain dump, which is like everything that's rattling around in my head, which is super satisfying to get that out of your head because that's just going to, it takes up space in your head and can drive you mad. So you want to get all that out. So just dump all that out on a piece of paper. But you want to have in front of you a list of 6 things that you're going to do. The third step is plan how much time that you're going to allocate to each task. I can't tell you how much of a game changer this is. If you look at it, you go, okay, I've got 20 calls to make, and I'm going to allocate an hour to that. I've got 3 proposals to write. Okay, so they should take me probably 20 minutes each. So there's another hour. I go, okay, so you've got, so from 9 until 10, I'm making calls. From 10 until 11, I've got 3 proposals to write, and so on. Planning it out throughout your day. And if you do this the night before, what happens is really cool. It's like your subconscious mind works on these things overnight. And then when you get to work, what you'll find is that you'll be so much more ready to take on that first task. It's like something really cool happens in your subconscious mind and you're just so much more ready to do the thing. The other thing is this whole concept that I learnt from Brian Tracy, which is he actually wrote a book on it called Eat That Frog. And the whole idea about the book is that you should do the thing that you don't want to do the most first. And the analogy of eating a frog is that if the first thing you had to do at the start of the day was eat a frog, then everything else would be pretty sort of smooth sailing after that. It would, by comparison, would be pretty easy. So step number 1, touch it once. Step number 2, make a list, but have the 6 musts on it. Step number 3, plan how much time you allocate to each task. Step number 4, plan the day. So schedule it in, as I've just been saying. From 9 until 10, I'll be doing this. From 10 until 11, then you've got your appointments, so, you should have a minimum of a couple of appointments a day, at least, actual organised appointments. That doesn't include prospecting. So plan the day and then prioritise. So make sure that your 6 musts are the things that are going to be the high impact things. So we've sort of touched on this already, but prioritising is massive. And then the 6th step is it relates to this. So there's this bit of data that says that 70 to 80% of all filing is never referred to again, right? 70 to 80% of all filing is never referred to again. So a good question to ask, step number 6, is ask, will it hurt me if I throw this away? The other really cool thing to ask yourself is this: can I get this information somewhere else? If I need to get this information later, can I get this information somewhere else? If the answer to that is no, then it is junk and you can chuck it. So I really, really urge you to put this into practice. It can change the maths, takes 5 minutes to do, and I think it will give you some extra time back. I mean, this can make you 20, 30% more effective just through doing these simple 6 steps. So, we live in a world that's got massive distractions, so we need a system. I urge you to try this one out and, look forward to seeing you or talking to you on the next podcast. Thank you for listening. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker's Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies to maximize your sales process with new episodes every week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive free no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.